16 seconds, 6.5 to go, and it's MTA Quebec that are doing a lot of the work. Now, these guys are capable of going for this, but they've got to work together. At the moment, they're not doing it, and there is Anderson, who's just rolled off the nose for the time being from Team Trefoil Blue Water. Let's give them some credit where it is due. They've got to start using the firepower that they've got here. Handy personnel could deliver, but will they?
Well, it's such a difficult one, and you know, what needs to happen is that these guys actually start taking the turns and working well together. But when you're seeing, looking at a guy, a rider like Lars Bak, who's clearly in a very, very good shape, and he looks like he's just floating around here, it's going to be tricky for the other guys to sort of cope with that and thinking, okay, if he's taking these sort of turns, you know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to take a turn and then respond to maybe an attack from him.
5.7 kilometres to go. Christian Naes is just about had enough. He wants to inject something into the day, and Team Sky and kind of salvage it, I guess. And with 5.6 to go, he just got off the phone and said, all right, forget it. And the reason is that Anderson is up the road, and Craig Anderson, Brian says, is a pretty handy sprinter. Thank you, Brian. Speak to your boys. Why aren't they mixing it here? Who knows? 3.2 kilometres to go. 26 seconds is the gap, and it is going to be these boys. Brian's going for, in his absence, is going for Anderson. I'm here. Marco Mercato is I'm going for, and you're Lars Bak, was it?
I'm going for Boom.
Lars Bohm, I beg your pardon, the other Lars. There we are. 3 kilometres to go then. They may well knock it back a little bit while they start cat-mousing, but those who haven't got their confident sprint head on for the time being may think about rolling this dice early. Lars Bak comes to the fore. Is he thinking about having a go? He's going to probably wait until he gets into a corner to do so. Waiting in the back is Marco Mercato, my pick, and he's just sizing everything up just for the time being for Wanty Group Gobert. Anderson close at hand with Lars Bak. There he is in the blue for Trefoil Blue Water. Brian Smith opening a checkbook as we speak. Meanwhile, it is Nordhaug that decides to push on. Edvard Bosenhagen a little bit further back and then kind of boxed in, I'm afraid, so not him just for the time being. 27 seconds, I think it's too much on this technical circuit because you keep having your rhythm broken by the 90-degree turns, the skiddery surface, and of course the pinch points, of which there are plenty here, Magnus.
There are a lot of pinch points and sleeping policemen and so on to deal with, but I think it's just that little bit too late for the peloton to really start charging, and I think there's a few riders up here as well who are sort of aware enough of what's going on behind them to really start pressing. And Lars Bak having a go with Bohm following.
There we go, Bak and Bohm. The two Lars have gone off. Can Mercato stay with them? He's struggling at the moment. He's in 5th place, and it's Anderson that's nearest to them. Big pullback as well from Mads Pedersen, who we haven't spoken too much about, for Cult Energy in the black. And at the back, it's Jules Jensen for Tinkoff Saxo, and again this is about softening up, and it's Lars Bak that's going for it. There'll be somebody else that pushes on with 1.6 to go. When and how? Big Jules Jensen likes to be on rails, and he's not getting that opportunity at the moment. Likewise, Lars Bohm likes a big introduction. Well, the man is the largest of them. Astana's pick by Magnus Backstedt. 1,500 metres to go. If the ticker is correct, we'll wait down. In fact, he's going for it right now. Lars Bohm kicks off almost track style. He has a look behind. Sees he's got a gap. 3-4 bike lengths. Is anyone going to close him down? That's the question. 1,300 metres.
It's Lars Bak's job to close this one down, and he's going to have to go. Jules Jensen not taking any turns. This is a dangerous moment now. Someone needs to get onto this and bring back Boom, because otherwise he's just going to ride away with this.
Well, it's not going to be Mercato, and Lars Bak in the red looks around, says, not me, it's not my place to do this. Lars Bohm's place is going to be top step of the podium if this carries on.
Yeah, watch out for Mercato though. He may actually try and jump across it and come from behind and just get across to Boom, and then try and springboard from that one onto a stage win.
Standing water here as well in town. Oh, big kick off the concrete there, almost using the banking. Clever stuff, and he goes for it, and he's on full charge right now. This is the attack, this is the reach out for glory, and I suggest this may well be the winning move. Nobody else is going to bridge that.
This is it. I think it's going to be difficult for them to bring this back. If Craig Anderson is getting onto the front, he's taking the responsibility of the race that none of the bigger guys really wanted to take.
Well, Lars Bohm is going to be heading for 10 seconds bonus right now. He's got about 650 metres remaining. Brave stuff by him. He churned it out. He got himself a gap. He knew that Makata was the big danger if it all came together, and they're still trying to reassemble themselves. It's almost back has woken up to the fact that if he doesn't get on with it himself and take the risk of throwing somebody else into contention, he's going to lose out to Lars Bohm. And lose out, he most certainly is. Bohm, the finish line awaits, and they're saying, cool it, that's for the traffic, not for Bohm. Excellent result for him. He'll sit up and take this one. Thank you very much. It's about him today.